Well, hello and welcome everyone to my Courageous Conversations. And I'm really excited to be joined today by Hannah Swierstra, who I've known now for over a year. And she is the founder of Balance BA Services, and she helps busy business owners with their admin overload. Now, I know that having been a business owner, there's like lots to do and you kind of feel like you're wearing many hats and doing lots of different things. And I know that Hannah helps with all of that kind of administrative stuff really beautifully. So welcome, Hannah. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, Andrea. It's lovely to be here.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, I opened this by saying, we've known each other for nearly a year, and but your business is actually quite young, isn't it? So when
Yeah.
did you start it?
So I started my business in July last year. Came up with the idea thanks to a friend, probably about a year prior to that. But just the way that it takes time to do these things. You can't just suddenly walk out of a job. I mean, some people can walk out of a job and start a business instantly, but that wasn't my way. So yeah, I actually and we met, started working together in the June, so it was very timely for me.
Yeah, yeah. Um, how's it been? Because obviously, there's been a global pandemic going on. Has that really impacted it, or have you found it quite easy to set up, or
Um, it's really hard to say because I've never done anything like this before. So I've never set up a business before, and I sort of class myself as a freelancer almost. I suppose because it's a service that I offer, and so I didn't know what to expect. And actually, I think that the pandemic has helped me because there's so much online and everything. There's so many online resources, so many online networking that I'm able to attend so many more things. And actually, I think starting it online for me anyway, I know it's not the same for everyone, was actually a lot easier than walking into a room full of people at a networking event. So I don't know how brave I would have been at events, whereas doing it online has actually been a bit easier. So it's been going okay. I have no expectations, I suppose, which helps. So yeah, I've enjoyed it so far.
oh, that's great to hear, isn't it? It's nice to hear like a positive story, coming out of something that was quite, or everyone found quite challenging.
Yeah.
So, as you said, we met sort of in the June time, and you came on one of my programs, the emails program. So, what drew you initially to that program? What was it that you kind of thought, yeah, this is the program I need to go on?
I'd seen you speak at TEDx. I was sort of working away in the background with that, and we'd spoken briefly after you did your talk, and you'd inspired me there. And I thought, you're possibly a coach that I wanted to work with. And then I just saw a post on social media. I think it might have been LinkedIn actually, where you talked about courageous females, and I mean those are two words that quite impactful. Someone who I always class myself as someone who doesn't have much courage, but other people would argue that starting a business in a pandemic maybe is a bit courageous, but I call it naive. So yeah, I just thought, how do I get more courage? How do I, especially seeing as I at that point had made the decision, I was starting to build business in the background. I'd taken on a sort of part-time 0 hours contract job just to sort of tide me over while I was trying to do that. And so I didn't have a job, a career for me at that point. So it was kind of like I had to go for it, and to have the program come up at that point, it was. I mean, I'm not a fate person, but it was just perfect timing for me. It was just as if the stars had aligned.
Yeah, yeah, that's wonderful. That really is. So, what did you expect? What did you think it was going to be like?
It's really hard because I'm one of these people that tries not to have too many expectations, just because I don't want to be disappointed. And also, I like to go in with my eyes just sort of open and ready to see what something is like, and not to try and judge it too much before I go into it. I had an idea because you sort of laid out the programs, how it would work. We'd have our weekly Zoom calls, and then weekly like masterclass, and then we'd have our reflection sessions. I knew there'd be other women. It was group work, and that for me, I really liked the idea of, because I don't know if I was ready at that point for one-to-one coaching. I think I found that being in that supportive environment with other women was going to really sort of boost me. And I love a community. I thrive in a community of people, like-minded people. That's my expectations were that I would find a lot of like-minded people and a wonderful community, and I wasn't disappointed.
Oh, that's really good. That's really nice. Really love to do that. So did you have any kind of key insights during the program that kind of stick in your mind?
It's like, for me, it was a drip feed, I think, and the whole way that you work with me or work with people is for me, it's a drip feed. It's about sort of getting those ideas, or getting some of those ideas out of your head. So your preconceived ideas, try not to get wrapped up in the overthinking. Remember, it is only thinking, it's not actually real. Thinking it doesn't make it real. I think one of the key things that I come back to a lot is, what stories am I telling myself? So stories from the past, because that's how I've remembered it. Someone else has probably remembered it completely different. So even though it's been, that's not how it is anymore. And stories I tell myself about, sort of my limiting beliefs. So I think, I can't do something because I've told myself that I'm not good enough to do that, or I shouldn't do that, or I will go to a networking session and maybe see other people do their amazing pitches and they're absolutely brilliant, and I just cower in the corner and go, I can't do that. And that's just a story I'm telling myself. So I think that's been the biggest insight for me.
Yeah, that's a pretty, isn't it? I
Yeah.
think when that penny drops, that, oh my goodness, I'm creating these different experiences, and that doesn't necessarily have to be how it is. It's just how creating that experience. That start to notice that it can be enormously freeing, can't it? And allows us to see it in a much clearer way. Yeah, no, I really like that. And what would you say has been the impact on, because obviously you had a brand new business when you were on the program, you launched the business during the program.
Yeah.
Would you say that the program's had any impact on the way that you run your business, or the way that your business has grown since then?
Yeah, I mean, I would say so. I think it's changed my mindset about how a business should be, because there are no shoulds is something that we talk about quite a lot. It's just like, why should it be this way? Why should it follow this path? Why should it? And I'm a sole trader. I'm on my own. I'm a freelancer. I don't have to fill out a business plan to send to get some funding. I don't qualify for any COVID funding, so I don't need to get a bank loan. So I've got a bit hooked up on that at the beginning, creating a business plan and all of that, and I think there's value in it. But for me, it was then creating so much overthinking and worrying about what direction my business was going to go in before I even started it, that it just helped me ditch it and just think, you know what, let's just see what happens. Let's see how the business goes. As long as I'm earning enough money to keep myself afloat, as long as I'm not losing money, as long as I'm happy in what I'm doing, as long as I feel comfortable, then just see how it goes and let it progress naturally. And that's kind of what I've done. I haven't pushed it too far. I'm waiting for the wisdom to come about what direction I want to go in, because another thing is that I get a lot is people talk about niching, and I want to discover my niche rather than force it. So I want it to happen organically, rather than sort of decide that I'm going to niche in a certain way and then find 2 years down the line that I'm actually really unhappy doing that.
Yeah, and I love how you've gone from really overthinking and worrying and trying to work everything out to, oh, actually now I'm just going to let this unfold and just see where it goes. And, you know, if it feels right, then we go in this direction. But actually happy to have that patience to let it unfold, because we do get so caught up in our own heads, don't we?
Yeah. I mean, it's still a work in progress. It never goes away.
We all are. You know, that's part of the deal of being a human being. You know, that's how I see it anyway. But just noticing that what's on offer is being able to allow this to unfold.
Yeah.
That's actually a really viable option, and it's one that can bring a lot of enjoyment and fulfillment and happiness, all those things that we're looking for, in that simply just, well, I can just let this unfold and not force it. And I love what you said about niching. I think that just makes my heart really
Yeah, I was putting so much pressure on myself, and I still get asked it a lot, what my niche is, and I say I don't have one yet. I'm sure it will come, but I want to discover what makes my heart sing before I commit to anything.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because to me, I don't have a niche. But when I recently went through my marketing, I went through a marketing process, and actually we came to a point where if I put all of my clients in a room, they'd all be the same kind of person. They may be from different backgrounds, they may have different professions, they may be in, you know, different lifestyles, but they'll all be that similar kind of cloth of person with similar, you know, ideas and values, and wanting to look in a particular direction. And that for me, it was like, yeah, that's my, if I'm going to have a niche, that's my niche then.
Yeah, I really like that, because, you know, for me, as for you, it's you're working with people, so you've got to enjoy spending time with the people that you work with, and if you don't, then it can be very difficult and unrewarding.
Yeah, absolutely. So would you, looking back now at the program, would you recommend it to other business owners in your position, or anyone else that you can think of?
Absolutely, I'd recommend it to any woman. I thought it was brilliant. The mastermind classes were great, really insightful, and you've probably explained it elsewhere, but when I talk about the mastermind class, it's an hour and a half session focusing on one topic, and we all get to contribute when we want to, as we feel, and then we have the reflection session, which is an hour, and that's a few days later to sort of help you sort of figure out what's. I think it was Tuesday and Friday, wasn't it? Yeah. So you sort of see. Yeah, gives you an opportunity to reflect back. And the bonus was that if you couldn't make it, it was all recorded. And because I've continued with the Courageous Leaders program, I still have access to all those resources from a year ago. So if I want to go back to a particular topic, I can go and revisit that masterclass, and I can then discuss it in our weekly reflections that we still have as part of the Courageous Leaders program. So yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you, would be what I'd say. It's like, you know, you've got nothing to lose.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. Thank you so much. That's I've really enjoyed talking to you, and I've loved watching your journey since we met last June. It's just been amazing to see you grow and flourish and really, you know, become this amazing business owner with you know, your own business, and you know, it's thriving and growing. It's incredible. Well done. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And if you're listening and you're interested in more information about the Courageous Females program, then you can find out more by looking at the description in this video, but also if you want to pop over to my website, which is andreamorrison.co.uk. So thank you very much. And thank you, Hannah.